Argle. Aaron Haynes from Fielding on stand number 2. And the old workhorse David Fagan from Tikawiti on stand number 1. 6 worthy contestants, Norm. She's going to be a bit of a battle over these 8 sheep.
Yeah, certainly will be, John. Great to see a good line-up here. 3 South Islanders and 3 North Islanders in there. John, go to the south.
Okay, there's two heats of this event. The next heat up is Matthew Smith, Darren Ford, Angus Moore, Doug Smith, Roland Smith, and Tony Costa. They are the next 6 contestants. So a big welcome too this morning to our overseas commentator, George Graham. Good to see him bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Just a few moments. We have a green light up there. The shearers are quickly checking the sheep. Mindset. Get it right. Don't be too long in there. Otherwise the referee will be forced to pull you out by the arm and the leg. And good to see the crowd sort of building up a little bit, Norm. Not too inclement out there. The weather's been typical, I say, Taranaki-ish weather. That's where I'm from. And, apparently the storm coming through South Taranaki and down across this part of the country, and it's supposed to disappear by nightfall. But never mind. One out, all out. Shearers on the board. Green light. Unlock those doors and be on this side, gentlemen, before we can get a start. Everything's on 0 up there for those that have just come in. We will explain the time points and the penalty points as we go along for those that are uninitiated in the event. This side of the door, please, gentlemen. Thank you. We've got the green. Timekeepers good. Judges. Competitors, go. On stand number 1, David Fagan, the old workhorse. He's the master blaster. They all seek to destroy. But by golly, he's still got the quality and he can do the job right. It'll take a little bit longer to shear the merinos. They come out looking grey and dull and dingy. But down just beneath the surface of that wool, there's a very fine white fibre worth gold here in the wool industry. On stand number 2, Aaron Haynes, a young fella. He's been up in the open now about 5 years, and he's quite a good competitor too, and he's keeping the pressure on all these other fellas that are more experienced. Nathan Stratford, well, old Stratty, he's down from the deep south, that fella. You wonder if from the deep south he keeps his hair closely shaved. It's got to be jolly. He must have a good woolly hat supply down south as he goes around the back of the head. Jason Wynn, the young fella from Reefton, steps up the top now. A bit of a dewlap on that sheep as he starts to punch up the neck. Notice how he's whoop, whoop, whoop about 6 times up the neck. And that's about just stretching the wool over top of the wrinkles and trying to keep the comb flat on the skin and away from all that red stuff. Here goes James Fagan. Well, he's no stranger to these little wrinkly things. He actually goes down south every year and charges into them just to try and make a living. Hey, look at him, and he's doing very well. He's actually leading the field at the moment. As he comes across the last side, the click picks up the ear and down out to the shoulder he'll come. Kevin Hessel from the south. He'll be rolling up the long blow and turns onto the muddy side of the sheep with this big pink-nosed sheep. Look at him, the stretch a mile, these sheep. A little bit of trouble for Aaron Haynes trying to punch up that neck, Norm, but I think he's just starting to open things up now. You try and get the worst one out of the way first and then settle into the job.
Yeah, dead right. I'm hoping that's what Aaron's done there, but really test these shearers. 12 of the best shearers in the world up here, ladies and gentlemen, but these merinos really test them out. They wouldn't have shorn many merinos probably since late September or October. They're completely different sheep to shear, different type of gear they've got to use, different type of comb, different footwork, different shearing pattern. And just to jump in right now and just shear 4 of these animals off the bat when you're cold like that, a big ask, but here they are anyway. Sheep number 2 coming out on the board for most of these competitors. Doing a great job. Jason Wynn from Reefton on stand 4. On stand 5, Jimmy Fagan, of course, he's a past Alexandra winner where they share the Merinos, the main Merino shearing competition down there in the South Island. The home of these Merinos, the high country of the South Island, of course. Up the neck he goes. You see the difference just in the neck alone. Trying to punch your way up there. Big dewlaps and wrinkles. There's a horn there and behind the ear. Got a shear around that as well. And you got to stay on the skin without making second cuts. Kevin Hessel down there. He's a very, very experienced campaigner, Kevin Hessel. Shorn all over the world over the last 50 or so years. Kevin Hessel, he's got that experienced shearer's haircut down there. David Fagan, top knot comes off. Georgie Graham, into the base of the ear he goes. He'll step up that wrinkly old neck.
Yes, that man on stand 1 now. He heads up the neck there on his second sheep. But it's down there on stand 5, 4 and 5. It's happening at the moment. They're practically blow for blow at the moment. They turn together there on stands 4 and 5. That's Jason Wynn and James Fagan. Don't forget Kevin Hassel down there on stand number 6. Away to go in these Merino sheep. David Fagan here on stand number 1. He's up and around the back of the head. Drops down to that fourth shoulder there as well. And Aaron Haynes there on stand number 2. He takes off the belly wool. Into that crutch and around and into the first hind leg he goes. On stand number 3 we've Nathan Stafford. He's down into the first shoulder as well. But it stands 4 and 5 there. Jason Wynn and James Fagan. Out they go. They're to go together down the porthole and out to come with sheep number 3. It's all happening down there on stands 4 and 5. But there's still a long way to go. Kevin Hassel down there on stand number 6. Right down into the long blows there. Working hard on these Merino sheep. Down he goes. But it stands 4 and 5. And come back to stand number 3 there. We've Nathan Strafford. He's right down in the long blows as well. But you see this man here on stand number 1, David Fagan. He turns her home. Down to the shoulder he comes. Cleans under that leg. Just a little bit of a wriggle there. Settles her down and away he goes again. Right down to the flank he goes there now on stand number 1. He's right there with him as well. Out the back leg he goes. And in just a few seconds he'll be in for another sheep there on stand number 1. James Fagan down on 5. He's this big sweeping blows up the undermine. Up and takes off the top knot now. But it's on stand 1 here. David Fagan down the porthole she goes. And into the pen he goes for another sheep now, John.
Well, you're just looking at the time clock gone past there. And David Fagan took 5 minutes to shear 2 sheep. The last night he was shearing the crossbreds, of course, in something like about 50 odd seconds. So you just go to show you the time that's needed on the job to shear these wrinklies, these big wethers here, and they're doing a marvellous job. As down Jimmy Fagan still leading the way as he stretches that left leg hard up against his body to get the comb to sit flat under the shoulder, and now he's into the long blow. Kevin Hessel drops out to sheep number 2 and brings out number 3. So he's probably the next in line. Him and Fagan are probably pretty close together there. Round the back of the head comes Jason Wynn, the young fella on sheep number 3, stand forward, working towards the long blow. Nathan Stratford's got sheep 3 on the board, and the belly's off it, and down the first off leg now. Plenty of poking and jabbing for Aaron Haynes. He's got a bit of a tough pen as he rocks on out the last leg. But he's a young fella, and he'll fire back when he comes into the crossbreeds, no doubt. Down the last leg, he's worked it off now. Hopefully he can get a better one this time round. The Fagan into the long blow. The Master Blaster from Tika Woody drops into the first shoulder. Into the long blow, he swoops. He's a long time dropping down. There's a lot of work to do in those sheep. Here comes Jimmy Fagan. He's got another one. Sheep down the belly he goes. Up over the tail on the far end for Hessel. A little bit back off the pace. Jason Wynn coming across the shoulder now on the last side. Fagan about to turn onto the money side of the sheep as well. But Hessel steps up the pen. He's got up the neck. He's got the 3rd sheep on the board. Fagan down there on stand number 5. Round the crutch he goes and down the first off leg. On this big pink nose weather, he's handling it well. It'll be a little bit chilly out there for these boys when they get outside, but I'm sure the farmer's going to put them back in the shed here today because we've got this jolly weather bomb coming across. Here comes David Fagan under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. Then goes Jason Wynn slightly ahead of him. That wouldn't have happened a few years ago, but this Jason Wynn, he's really improved over the last couple of seasons, Norm. He's been working hard and he's deserved his place here in the semi-final.
Oh, he certainly is. It's in his blood, Jason Wynn. There's no doubt about that. He loves the competitions. Very good all-breed shearer. As he's proved, he's here in the semi-final. All these shearers, they shear these merinos very, very well. They're a specialty breed. Different set of names you hear talked about in the sheds when you're talking about merinos. Men like Grant Smith, Barry Taylor, Tony Cook, you know, shearers like that. They're the names you hear about in the sheds on the merinos, but they're these men up here are their equal as well. Into the first hind leg dives David Fagan. Right into the base of the leg and down through the crutch, up the undermine. 8 minutes gone on the clock. It just shows you how difficult these merinos are to shear. Top knot comes off for David on stand number 1. Aaron Haynes winds his way around through the long blow. Another couple of shots. He'll be on that last cheek. He's got to navigate his way around that horn, around the ear, over the eye and down the cheek. There he is. Aaron Haynes from Fielding on stand 2. The Stratman on 3. The Nathan Stratford, the wee fella from Invercargill. Great competitor, this man. Shares around Alexandra every year for quite a few years now, so he's experienced on these merinos. But like I said before, she's a big ask coming straight in. They won't have shorn merinos for a few months now. Down into the flanky punches. Couple more shots, he'll be away up the undermine. Jason Wynn from Reefton, the West Coaster on stand 4. Last front shoulder for that man. Having a good share. Chasing James Fagan hard on 5. Jimmy Fagan, change of handpiece, new set of gear. Into the peony dives. Out comes his first short wool crossbred. The wee fella will start flying now. Kevin Hessel busts the neck open into the cheek. He's got his last merino on the board. David Fagan having a good cheer as well. Down over the last front shoulder. He's not far away from the crossbreds as well, Georgie. He'll see the pace change now.
Yes, it's all on here now. And Jason Wynn, he changes the steel as well, so he'll have a crossbred out now as well, and away he goes there. Kevin Hassel down there on stand number 6. He's down the front shoulder. But on stand 1 here we've David Fagan. He'll be ready for the change in about 10 seconds or so as well. Out the back leg he goes on stand number 1. Out he goes there now, and he'll be changing in just a few seconds. We have Aaron Haynes on stand number 2, but it's David Fagan at his. A quick change there now, and he'll be out with a different shape, so you'll see it really hotting up here now. David Fagan on 1, but it's already on stand number 5. Jimmy Fagan out the back leg he goes there now, just another couple of blows, and he'll be in for shape number 6. Kevin Hassel down there on stand number 6. He turns her home, cleans off that cheek, down to the shoulder he comes. And Jason Wynn there on stand number 4. He's down to that shoulder as well, and Nathan Strafford. So very, very close there. Stands 3, 4 and 6 at the moment. They're practically blow for blow. Who's going to get the drop next? It looks like it could be Jason Wynn there on stand number 4. Yes, he's a real flyer this time. And out he comes. That's Jason Wynn. He's there as well. So James Fagan at his drops down to that first shoulder, down into the long blows, and away he's go. He leads the field at the moment. But Jason Wynn coming right back at him now with every blow. He's into the first hind leg there. A change with Nathan Stafford on 3. He's out now as well. David Fagan here on 1. Out the back leg he goes. Just another couple of blows, and he'll be in for shape number 6. It's still close enough here, John. It's all to go for here still. David Fagan down the porthole she goes, and out he comes with shape number 6 on the board.
Yeah, the last of the merinos gone off the board from Kevin Hassel down there. He changes the bog iron. New steel on now as he steps into the pen for the first of his crossbred ewes. Jimmy Fagan, though, he's on sheep number 7. He's only got one left in the pen, I think. And he's down the first off leg. He's about to go. These sheep have been well crutched out by the locals here in Masterton over the last week or so. Aaron Haynes turns for home. He's still got a merino to finish here on stand number 2. Across the top shoulder now as he rocks it off now. Beautiful style he's got. He's just a lot of work though, a little bit across the knuckle of that sheep. These merinos have got to have it all taken off, all the wool, otherwise they get seeds and infections into their under their skin, and next minute you got a lame sheep. Out the last leg comes Aaron Haynes. A little bit of trouble getting that one to sit. David Fagan drops number 6 down the porthole. Jimmy Fagan's coming down the last side on number 7. Here goes the Jason Wynn from Reefton. Down into the long blow, he's half shorn 7. Up over the top comes Kevin Hessel. Down on stand number 6 on sheep number 5. Aaron Haynes goes in for sheep number 5 now. That merino's gone. Thank golly for that, he says. Up the neck comes Nathan Stratford. Into the long blow, he's heading on sheep number 6 on stand number 3. The young fella from Invercargill, well, not so young now. We're all getting older. Only these younger fellas get older, though, I think, Norm, as we keep talking about these young fellas doing exceptionally well. David Fagan included. He comes over the top of the shoulder on the last side. Jimmy Fagan's almost finished his allotted number of sheep. He's rocking up the long blow and about to turn onto the money side.
Money side it is. James Fagan down there, ladies and gentlemen, from Tikuiti on stand number 5. Last front shoulder of him, David Fagan on stand 1. And he hops for his final sheep. In goes Nathan Stratford on 3. Out onto the board he pops. David's got one round Nathan at this stage, but James Fagan having a great share. The wee pocket rocket down there on stand number 5. Another couple of shots. Right out over the toe. There's the red button for James Fagan. 12 minutes, 58 seconds for Jimmy. Nathan Stratford, top knot comes off. David Fagan, top knot comes off, but David's on 8. Nathan's on 7. Ooh, got a wee bit of a kicker, Nathan. The wee fella from Invercargill. Round the back of the head he goes. There goes Jason Wynn, the Reefton fella. Time taken of him as well. 13 minutes and 15 seconds. Not too bad, Jason. Hope to see you in the next round. Out back's Aaron Haynes. Sheep number 6 on the board. But David Fagan, down over the last front shoulder he comes from Tikuiti. The icon of the shearing industry. He's a legend among legends, this man. Right out to the toe he goes. Another couple of shots. He'll be looking for that red button as well. 1, 2 big sweeping blows. Another couple of wee ones. There it is. Red button time for David Fagan. Back on the board with Aaron Haynes. Out back's Nathan Stratford. Haynes up round the neck. He's on sheep number 6. This is Nathan Stratford's last one. Kevin Hessel has got one left in the pen too. Georgese punches down under the first hind leg. Sweeps a couple of big blows up the undermining. Heads for the head.
Yes, down there on stand number 6, that big sweeping blows up the underline for Kevin now. Steps through, takes off the top knot, and away he goes. On stand number 2, we've Aaron Haynes here. He's turns to the shoulder, down the last side he comes, and Nathan Stafford on 3. He drops down to the first shoulder on his final sheep there, right down into the long blows. Kevin Hassel up and around the back of the head on 6 he goes, down into that first shoulder. On stand 2, Aaron Haynes it is. Out the back leg he goes now, and he'll be soon in for another sheep. Shearing on stand number 2, just takes off that sock there on the back leg. Down the porthole she goes, and he comes out now with sheep number 7 onto the board. But it's stand number 3 is going to be next. Nathan Stafford there, down to the flank he goes. Out that back leg now, doing a beautiful job on that sheep. Out the back leg he goes, just another couple of blows and he'll be reaching for the button. That's Nathan Stafford there, has just finished on stand number 3. Well done, so he stands 2 and 6 at the moment there. Kevin Hassel there on stand number 6. His 7 sheep on the board. He turns to the shoulder. Down the last side he comes. Don't forget our sponsors up there, PJ Wrightson's. They'll be quite happy with this one. I'd like to thank them very much for their very generous sponsorship. But it's Kevin Hassel now on stand number 6. Out the back leg he goes there now. And he'll be in for his 8th and final sheep. On stand number 2, we've Aaron Haynes. He drops down into the long blow. Steps over now. On 6, Kevin. He comes out with his 8th and final sheep on the board. Aaron Haynes, he gets the turn. He's off the sheep. Down to the shoulder he comes. Down the last side of his second last sheep with one more left in the pen here. Not a lot between them. He's coming back now with Kevin all the time, but Kevin into that first hind leg there. Aaron Haynes, down to the flank he goes. Out the back leg. Another 2 or 3 blows now. He'll be in for his 8th and final sheep. Shearing on stand number 2. That's it. Down the porthole she goes. And out he comes now with his final sheep, John.
Yeah, he certainly had a little bit of trouble with those merinos. That first one just destroyed him, of course. He was in no man's land. He had to shear it. He couldn't just let it go down the porthole. But anyway, to his credit, he completed all his sheep. And here's the last one on the board. Up the undermine he goes as Kevin Hessel turns onto the last side. The very experienced competitor down there comes across the shoulder now. He'll be pleased he's entered at the Golden Shears. He's made it into the semi-final of this PGG Wrightson's Heat 1 as he rocks on out the last leg. Keeping the job nice and flat for the judges. Still got a fairly good score there. But it's the times the devil against him as he switches off. Here comes Aaron Haynes down over the top. What has he got? 15 blows left in his sheep as he winds over the shoulder. Across the shoulder now with a 4, and he's down to get that 9 out that last side. There goes to them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and lets it down the porthole. Good round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. They're semi-finalists, and they can step off to the right, please, and we'll have our next heat on from the left.
Thank you, fellas. Heat 2 of our PGG Wrightson National Circuit. Matthew Smith, Darren Ford, Angus Moore, Douglas Smith, Roland Smith, Tony Costner. Just a quick announcement, ladies and gentlemen. our 4 finalists for the Ag ITO Open Woolhandling Championship. In order of qualification, 4 finalists of the Open Woolhandling Championship, which will be run last on the card this afternoon. Joel Hinare from Gisborne, Kieran Herbert from Te Awamutu, Joanne Kumara from Whanganui, Huia White Puna from Christchurch. Congratulations to those 4 finalists.
Yeah, shrieks and squeals from some of the supporters there. Of course, commiserations to the ones that didn't go through, but that's the nature of the beast we've created here. We need to find the top one, and that's the way the judges have seen it.
Quick call too, please, to senior finalists. We'll be running the senior shearing final as soon as our PGG Wrightson's heat's finished. Jack Robinson, Sean Matheson, Jack Fagan, Tucson Hema, Tiata Kura Crawford and Hemi Braddock.
And just to, once again, it's nice to see all those sponsors up here. PJ Wrightson's, Tootie, Trust House, PJ Wrightson's, all great sponsors here. You see them right all, Alflex, right all around the stadium. You see all the sponsors here. They've put a tremendous amount of money in here to this Golden Shears World Championships of Masterton. And we'd like to thank all those sponsors right around the stadium. You see all their signs up. They've given great support here to the committee, to Mavis and the committee here at Masterton, and we'd like to thank them very much for their very generous sponsorship.
Yeah, Georgie, another great lineup here. Once again, 3 South Islanders and